Hey everyone, I'm your astrologer Brittany of Ethereal Astrology, helping you to see the larger story of your life with horoscopes that emphasize the cycles of the moon and the slower moving planets. Today, you're watching the Astrology Horoscope for the full moon in the sign of Sagittarius, which occurs on Thursday, May 23rd, 2024 at 9:53 a.m. Eastern Time or 6:53 a.m. Pacific Time. Now, what I think is going on here at this full moon in Sagittarius is that we're experiencing either good events with money, our gift, skills, and talents, our beauty, body, and appearance, or our self-worth here, or if not experiencing good events, getting very good insights and understandings about those things that's helping us just to feel more motivated and excited by life once again, because I think that's been missing for a while here, and feeling more inspired to act and to do things in an easier way in our life here as well. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. If you want to hear more about that, please do stay tuned because we're going to talk about it right now. In order to get started, what I like to do first is to place on the chart what it is that I'm referring to so that you can see it and follow along with me. So let me do that now. This video is for that full moon in Sagittarius on May 23rd. As a result, I've adjusted my chart accordingly for that lunar event. I know that because I've got the moon here in Sagittarius making an exact opposition over here to the sun in Gemini. When the moon opposes the sun like this, it is a full moon. And of course, it's in Sagittarius because that's where the moon is. Okay, what is this about? Well, full moons are all about stepping into things that we have been working towards for quite some time. Not only that, it's also about bringing things to fullness, right? Or completion, finishing things, because that is when the moon is the furthest from the sun. In addition to that, it also too can bring some sort of insight or illumination here about our experience, something to light that perhaps we didn't see before, because the full moon is also when the moon is very bright in the sky. And not only that, but sometimes it can require us to make some sort of decisions here as well, because a full moon is a function of an opposition, which usually does in a lot of ways require decisions here as well. Okay, what is it that we are stepping into or completing or starting to see more and get more insights about, maybe even make decisions about at this time? Well, that's Sagittarius, because that is the sign that the full moon is in. What is Sagittarius about? Well, Sagittarius is typically known for gifts and good luck and more of an external sense, like just good things happening externally in your experience. If not that, Sagittarius is also a sign of wisdom and understanding here about our situation, which is more internal, but also to me, a good luck manifestation, right? Understanding your situation in a way you didn't before, I think is a very lucky thing and can be very helpful as well. So it can bring that either good luck externally in your situation or a good internal understanding that can also be very beneficial here. Not only that, but Sagittarius is also a sign of learning, trying things in a different way, or experimenting and adventuring. So I think there's also some of that going on. In addition to that, Sagittarius is also a fire sign. Fire signs do tend to be more masculine, which is more active, more bold, more action-oriented, more passionate, more excitable and courageous here in a lot of ways as well. So I think that's what's going on, maybe to bring that all together, that what we're trying to step into at this full moon, for which this video is for, is more good luck externally in our situation, or just more good wisdom and understanding about our situation that it is that we might need to help us try new things or learn more here about our experience, and more passion, more zest for life, if you will, more excitement for life and to do things here than I really think we've had in a long time. Okay, so that's what I think is happening here at this full moon, and is what the main theme is. Now, before I explain in more detail about that and how that's going to play out, I do like to go back in time for a minute here before I move forward. And I like to go back in time to give you more of the context of how we got here and of why this full moon is coming up with these themes, because I believe that the context can actually change like each lunation quite a bit and make one, different than the other for certain reasons. So I want to do that. But if you're not interested in hearing that context, then that's fine. You can go ahead and skip forward in the video. I'll put timestamps down below in the description box. So I'm going to go now with the context. And to start with that, I'm going to start back where I usually like to start at a very significant alignment that happened the very beginning of 2020. What's the time frame I usually give here? Like January to March or April of 2020. Okay, what happened there? Well, around that time, we had Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, and the South Node, I need to note, all conjunct here towards the middle to late degrees of Capricorn. That's a very rare alignment because Saturn and Pluto only come conjunct about 35 years, every 35 years, and not always with Jupiter there or the South Node in them together. So it's just a rare alignment. Not only was it significant because it was rare, but it was also a challenging alignment as well, a very difficult one, and a difficult one because Pluto and Saturn were there, which do tend to be more challenging planets since they are outer ones. Not only that, but Jupiter was in Capricorn, a sign it doesn't like to be in and therefore doesn't function that well in. And the South Node can also be a bit of a challenge too. So it was just a hard thing all around. What was the difficulty there that was going on? Well, Saturn can indicate stuckness, feeling restricted, something not being right. Pluto is about big permanent changes that might need to be made in order to overcome this stuckness, and things that may have been keeping us stuck for 35 years prior to that with the way that the cycle of these planets here that's going on. That could have felt very big with it being in Capricorn, a cardinal sign that affected almost all parts of our lives here. And again, was very uncomfortable. So that's what I think happened the beginning of 2020. We realized something's not right in my life, hasn't been for a while. Now I have to make big sweeping change all around and the structure of it to let go of these things that have been plaguing me that I don't like for maybe many decades prior to adjust it for the better. And I think we did that for a while. That then leads me now to the next alignment that I want to mention, which was, I believe, about 2 years later now, April, I want to say, of 2022. Okay, at that time, we had a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus, right about there. That to me was a positive thing. It was a positive thing because it was on the North Node, which I do tend to think of as being a more helpful influence about our purpose and destiny at this time. What was a good thing? Well, new moons are about new beginnings. Taurus is a lot about fertility and abundance and kind of like a more fertile environment for things to grow. So I think what happened here in April 2022 is that we felt like we had made enough changes in the 2 years prior to end things that we didn't like, that hadn't been working for us for a very long time, or that we were in a much better place, or if not a much better place, then a place that was more fertile, where we could create something better after this point and work towards that, which I think was nice. Okay, that then leads me now to the next alignment I want to mention that happened about 2 weeks after that, also somewhere around April of 2022. And that was a full moon lunar eclipse here in the opposite sign of Scorpio on the South Node. Now, that was a bit challenging because it was on the South Node, which is more difficult and tends to be about things that aren't working for us or habits that we have that are just no longer useful to us at this time that we need to stop doing. Okay, so that was challenging. What did we need to let go of, right? What habits did we have with the South Node that aren't working for us and that we need to let go of here in order for us to progress? Well, those are going to be Scorpio habits here, not because, and I'm going to interpret this in Scorpio in a more negative way, not because Scorpio is a bad sign, just because the South Node was there at that time, which tends to take it that way. Okay, what are those traits we needed to get rid of? Well, Scorpio, when negative, can spend too much money here. Not only can it spend too much money, it can make too many changes, right? It's a sign of change, too much change that's really no longer needed if we're trying to build something, more secure. Not only can it bring that, it can also bring a lot of negative subconscious emotional stuff here that is festering here inside us that can be hard to deal with, that we need to get rid of. It can also bring as well maybe intertwining too much with relationships and giving too much of our power away to them as well here. So it was us in April of 2022, right, to bring it together, realizing we're in a much better place now after ending a lot of things that we didn't like, and more able to grow. But even though we're in a much better place and more able to grow after ending all that stuff, we have some habits that aren't working for this new life and for this new experience that we want to create, which is that we're giving too much of our power away to other people. We're spending too much money on things we don't really need. Here we are indulging or just feeling so many negative emotions from the past few years that are bringing us down. That's going on. And making too many changes that just aren't really helpful, that we need to get rid of and stop doing, right, so that we can move forward. Okay. Now I think that's what we were realizing at that full moon, but if I can be honest, I think it took us all of that year, almost all of 2022, to really get that, understand that fully, that we needed to let those habits go and to get that through our head and to understand what was needed next. It really wasn't until the following year, January of 2023, now that I think we started to understand that. And it wasn't until that time because around January 2023, Mars had finished going retrograde in Gemini about our mindset. Before that, and Mercury in January 2023 was going retrograde at that time in Capricorn over that Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter South Node conjunction that happened in 2020 here. And that's significant because Mercury brings a mindset, a shift, changing our mindset, since it's about our thought processes. Not only that, but Mercury too can also be about adjusting our physical environment, right? Because it correlates to Gemini and an air sign, and Virgo, an earth sign. Okay, so I think what happened in January 2023 is that we started to understand we got to stop spending money, giving our power away to people, making all these changes, and indulging all of these more challenging emotions, even if we do feel them here, and we have to adjust relationships and money otherwise, and to trade those habits, I need to note, for ones that are slower, more stable, more secure, more self-reliant, things like that. Okay. And I think we did it. And that then leads me out of the next alignments that I want to mention, which I believed happened right after that, February and March, maybe, of 2023. Around February to March of 2023, we had two planets, slower moving planets, change signs. Pluto left Capricorn and moved into Aquarius, and Saturn left Aquarius and moved into Pisces. Okay, this is significant again because they're slower moving planets, which don't do this all the time. And when slower moving planets change signs, because they don't do it a lot, they bring significant changes and shifts in our life and in our experience, like to change the chapter on it of sorts, to be new and different. And with Pluto moving into Aquarius, more authentic to ourselves, and Saturn in Pisces, more in tune with our emotions and our intuition, without the past bringing us down as much. Okay, so that was us in February to March of 2023, feeling like we can try again. We can try again now to move forward on a new beginning, a new chapter in life, like we felt in April of 2022, now that we've got a better perspective and a better approach to it here that was going on. Okay, that then leads me now to the next alignment that I want to mention, which I think happened around May of last year, 2023. And around May of last year, 2023, we had Venus go retrograde here in the sign of Leo. Now, that's a challenge because it's a planet going retrograde, and the personal planets we might feel more readily than some of the others here. What did that bring? Well, when a planet goes retrograde, it can bring a feeling of being stuck, right? Can't move forward. I'm not moving forward. I'm stuck here in some old things that haven't fully been resolved. Here, that could have been hard, making it feel like we still don't have the green light to move on into this different and better experience of life. That could have been a challenge. Why were we stuck in particular at that time, unable to move forward? Well, Venus is going retrograde in Leo. Leo's about happiness and joy and pleasure, and Venus going retrograde there indicates we're not doing that. We weren't feeling happy. We weren't feeling joyful or allowing ourselves to be happy and to have fun, especially not after everything we'd been through. Not to mention, around that same May of 2023, Pluto retrograded back into Capricorn here, which was also not a great thing, making us also feel stuck in too much Capricorn, too much structure, too much seriousness, too much emergency mode. Here that was going on, cold and harsh and out in the cold and things like that. So what I think happened in May of 2023 is that we tried to move forward yet again on this new chapter of life that we've been trying to get to since 2020 and 2022. And us feeling stuck again and unable to do so because we weren't in touch with our heart, with happiness and joy, and are stuck too much in work, responsibility, and emergency mode. Okay, that was not great. That then leads me now to the next alignment that I want to mention. About a month or two later, June to July of 2023. Around that time here, we had Pluto, which was back in Capricorn, around then square the nodal axis, which had just entered Libra and Aries at that time. Okay, when a planet squares the nodal axis, it's considered a skip step. It can bring a feeling of stuckness, but we already knew that was going on with the Venus retrograde in Leo. So not only can it bring that, I'm going to add something else. A planet squaring the nodes can not only bring stuckness, but it can bring the need for a big choice here that needs to be made. And in Pluto's case, Pluto's a planet of change, a big change that still needed to be made. And a change that needed to be made, especially with the opposite point of Pluto here in Cancer, to honor our emotions more and do more of what our emotions were calling us to do here, and to seek out, more things that felt more emotionally comfortable to us and maybe even joyful here as well. And to make the big, scary, these were not comfortable, big, scary changes in order to do so. So I think that's finally what happened last year. That was last year. Trying to move forward again on a new beginning since 2020 and 2022, still not working because I'm not happy with my life and I'm stuck in emergency mode. So I'm going to make a big drastic change, physical, it felt a physical thing in your life, really to end that so that you can focus more on your emotions and what those are and figuring out what makes you happy and all of that. Okay, that then leads me now to the next alignment that I want to mention, which happened this year, right? The beginning of this year, we had a new moon in Capricorn, I believe around January here. And that new moon in Capricorn, I think we started to get it. We started to honor our emotions, I think, in ways that and to honor our emotions more in a way that was more balanced with the things we needed to get done in our lives and with how we needed to do things, which was very, very positive. Okay. That then leads me now to the next alignment I want to mention, which was a month later, February of this year, 2024, we had a new moon in Aquarius, and new moons are about new beginnings. Aquarius is about the future and experiment, unique, innovative approaches. So I think that in February of this year, we then tried to do more things in our life that are unique and different to move it to the next level. Pluto also is back in Aquarius as well, to try to continue on some new and better path. Now that we had an approach where we were honoring more of our emotions and our joy. And I think that was a fine thing, but even though that was a fine thing, a month later, March, at that new moon in Pisces, which wasn't too long ago, I think we then felt stuck and unable to really progress yet again in the way that we wanted on these new, onto this new chapter of life. And I think we felt unable to progress because there were still just a few little details, I think, from the past that need to be taken care of, and just more emotional adjustments, I think, that were needed, especially with Pisces being a water sign about our emotions, to more fully settle in to a place of life where we honor our emotions and to more truly be at ease, be at ease with it, not just honor our emotions and work and still feel uneasy and stressed, but to honor more emotions, do what needs to be done, and to relax into it. I think there's still more that was needed than there at that time. Okay, that then leads me now to the next thing I want to mention, which was the new moon after that, April. It was, I believe, a solar eclipse here that we started to have in Aries. And what I think happened then is that we then tried to be more at ease. I think be more at ease in our experience, of life with this more balanced approach, right? And to continue on this trajectory of just trying to enjoy life here without forcing new things to happen before they were really ready here. That was going on. And I think we, and we're also in the new moon in Aries trying to resolve more old things. And I think we did fine with that. But even though we were doing fine with that, I think at the new moon in Taurus, which was just 2 weeks ago now in May, we realized that we needed to rest a little bit more, and take it easy a little bit more than felt comfortable. And then maybe we were naturally doing here, in order to get some clarity that maybe we are missing, or some answers and insights about our life that we didn't have before. And I think we did that. And because we did that now, finally, this full moon in Sagittarius, for which this video is for, I think we're feeling more energized by life now that we took time to rest and be at ease, and more passionate about life, and more able to just like do things in life and make things happen for ourselves. Not only are we just feeling more energized in life and more able to do things now and more passionate, but I think we're also getting a lot of wisdom and understanding about our situation and how to do things in a better way to move it to this next level of life that we've been trying to get to. And we might even be experiencing good events, physical manifestations here happening in our lives as well, as a result of our patience and our rest, and of this, newfound emotional state that we're in here at this time. Okay, and that's it. Because that's it, I'm now going to erase the chart here. And maybe I'll summarize that one more time, very briefly. Okay. What I think is going on, the past context is that we've been trying to get to some new and better chapter of life multiple times since 2020. And it's just been really hard for us to do one thing after another that we needed to resolve. First, when it came to giving our power away to other people and spending too much money and indulging too many negative emotions. And next, when it came to having fun and being more passionate and enjoying life. And I think that we have finally started to conquer, and complete in a lot of ways those lessons, which is making us feel very good now, more passionate about life at this full moon, and have our zest back, and just more able to move forward in a different experience now, in a way that might work with some good luck and events to facilitate that. Okay, and that's it. Because that's it, I'm now going to place the full moon on the chart one more time and then talk more specifics about it. So now I'm going to do that. Let me place the full moon. Here's the moon in Sagittarius, making an opposition over here to the sun in Gemini, the full moon. Okay. Remember what I said at the very beginning. Full moon in Sagittarius is about us stepping into gifts, good things happening in our external environment. It's also us stepping into more wisdom and understanding about our experience, and more passion and zest, I think, for life here that's going on. Okay. The first alignment that I really want to look at in regards to this full moon in Sagittarius is actually going to be here where Jupiter and Venus are. And it's going to be here where Jupiter and Venus are, because they are conjunct themselves, which is significant. Not only are they conjunct themselves, but they are conjunct at the last degree of Taurus, which is also very significant. Not only do I want to talk about that because of those things, but I also want to talk about it too because Jupiter is the ruler of the full moon, right? The full moon's in Sagittarius, which correlates to Jupiter, so that makes Jupiter extra important. I also want to mention it too because it is opposite this moon, even though it's out of sign, and conjunct the sun here as well. So very big thing going on at this full moon that has a lot to say, a lot of information to share about what's going on. Okay, what is the first thing I want to note about this alignment? Well, I want to talk about just Jupiter alone for a minute, because Jupiter's, again, the ruler of the full moon, since the full moon is in Sagittarius. And the ruler of the full moon, whatever it is, and right, in this case we know it's Jupiter, but the ruler of the full moon in general gives more information about the full moon and about what it's bringing, or what to expect, or where things are happening. And Jupiter's in Taurus. Okay, what is Taurus about? Let's start there. Okay, Taurus is a lot about finances. It's a lot about money. It's one of the money signs here. So there's that going on. Not only is it about money, it's also too about our gifts, skills, and talents, things that we have at our disposal to use in the world. Not only that, but it also too can be about our beauty being a Venus ruled sign and appearance, or our physical body with it being an earth sign here as well, and our vitality or fertility, if you want to think of that as like a body, the fertility of our body, things like that. here that's going on. Not only that, it's also too about our self-confidence and our self-worth. So what that tells me about this full moon in Sagittarius, to give more detail, more specifics, is that a big thing, right? We're getting this full moon in Sagittarius. I said we're getting good luck and events happening, and we're getting wisdom and understanding. That's very helpful, bringing our mojo back for life. Well, those good events and or insights, it can be either or both, okay, that are happening are Taurus things. We're getting good events with money. Here, we're getting good events with our confidence and our self-worth, good events with our gift, skills, and talents. Here, and insights, right? They could be insights too, or good events and insights with our body and our appearance and things like that. That's going on, okay? What kind of insights are they? Remember, Jupiter is a lot about doing things in a new and different way, right? And with more wisdom and understanding that's going on. So these are a lot of insights about how to have, maybe now to put it all together, new, different, or better sources of money. So like a new source of money or just a better money source. Here, this can be a new gift, skill, and talent that some of you can be cultivating, or just using your current talents better with what you're doing. Here, this could also be as well a new appearance, like, right, some of you might want to change your hair color or your style or things like that, or just your same appearance, but just upgrading that, could also be your body, doing things differently with your body or the health of it. Health is more Virgo, but again, fertility is like a Taurus thing, and fertility affects your health. So it can also be some things that can come up here, doing new, different, or better things to help improve the vitality and the fertility of your body, and things like that as well. That can be going on here at this time in a new and different sense of self, right? That's more confident. So I want to say that here, right? That can be either an insight about how to do those things or an actual good event, or both. Okay. So that's what I want to be. This isn't like any good luck, happening in any random way. This is very specific. Okay. The good insights and events are new, to repeat it, new, different, or better money sources, new, different, or better appearance or way of dealing with your body, new, different, or better insight or event when it comes to your self-worth and your gift, skills, and talents. Okay, not only that here, but there's some other things that I want to say about this. It's in Taurus, right? That's where Jupiter is. Taurus is not flashy like, say, Sagittarius is, even though I know the full moon is there. Taurus, when it gives good insights or good luck or good events, is not going to give you what you want per se. Wanting is more a Scorpio thing. Taurus is more about what you need. It's going to give you what you need. Not only that, but to me, Taurus is a sign of simplicity, right? It's earth, it's salt of the earth. It's an earth sign here, and ruled by Venus, which is, a faster moving planet here. And to me, it's more about simplicity, which I think is sometimes what makes Taurus so beautiful, right? It being about beauty. Like, there's a beauty in simplicity here that's going on. So I think that that's another thing that I want to note here. Good things are happening at this full moon in Sagittarius in certain areas that I've mentioned: money, body, confidence and self-worth, gifts, skills, and talents, right? Internally, externally, both. Good things are happening here. But if you're expecting them to be flashy, in your face, bells and whistles, everything you want them to be, you might miss them, or you might not see them for what they are and what's going on. These good things that are happening with money, your body, your gift, skills, and talents, you're not going to be what you want. They're going to be what you need here, and what's more in alignment with your needs and values, and a little bit more simpler. Not only do I want to note that, but I also want to note too another thing here. Jupiter is making a conjunction with Venus, and it is still in an orb, I suppose you could say, to a conjunction with Uranus, which it made a few weeks ago, and which is one of the most important alignments of this year here that's going on. And conjunctions are a symbol of new beginnings. They're starting new cycles with each other. So Jupiter starting a new cycle with Uranus and a new cycle with Venus, and eventually, right, and with the sun, made a conjunction with the sun a few days ago. And so new beginnings are small. New beginnings, they start small and then they get bigger. Really, when something is big and we see a physical manifestation of something huge, it's the end of a cycle or the closing instead of the beginning here, even though I know it's a full moon. And so that's another thought that I want to say here. Good things are happening internally, externally, or both when it comes to money, our gift, skills, and talents, our body and appearance and our self-worth, but they're not flashy, in your face, everything that you want, super showy. They're going to be more subdued, and they're going to be simpler and more of what you need instead of what you want. And they're just the beginning. They're just the beginning of things, and they're small. There's a lot of room to grow with these good things. It's just the beginning of a good thing and getting you on a good track. Okay. So you got to manage your expectations around what these are here. Not that they're any less beautiful. Like I might even want to say they're more good, more beautiful than you might even realize as well, because Taurus, not only is this a sign, right, which you mentioned, of money, gift, skills, and talents, all that other stuff, but Taurus is fixed earth, and fixed signs, well, earth is very sensible and practical, right? But fixed signs are concerned about longevity, about the longevity of something and something lasting the test of time here and being built right, built to last, built strong. To me, that's also a Taurus theme here as well. So not only do I want to mention here that these good things that are happening either internally or externally, although I believe it's both here, are about money, gift, skills, and talents, body and appearance, self-worth. They're not flashy. They're not going to be what you want. They're going to be more simple in what you need. And they're just going to be the beginning of something that has a long room to grow after this, but they're going to be solid. They're going to be real. Taurus gives good gifts. Out of all the signs, I think Taurus gives good gifts. It's going to be real. It's going to be, and it has the chance to be enduring and be something very tangible here that you can work with and count on here in a lot of ways, which I think is the way you want gifts and good luck. You don't want it big and flashy, but it's flimsy. You want it big, flashy, and built for the test of time here. It's very reliable. Not only do I want to say that, okay, but other things that I want to note too about this, again, to put it in the context of a lot of other horoscopes that I've given you too, this to me, because it's so tangible, right? That's what we're talking about. The Taurus is tangible. Because it's so tangible, this to me, if you've been listening to the context I gave you, is one of the first moments, maybe even the first moment since 2020, where we're starting to feel as though we're on the right track and like we're actually in a much better place to get on a new and better experience of life. You see, because this is a good event and it's solid or an insight and real and tangible. This, I think, maybe I should just say it, is I think the first time since 2020 where we felt like I'm on a new experience of life and I actually have something solid, not big, it's not flashy, not all these bells and whistles, but I finally have a solid event or a solid insight that's going to get me to where I need to go here and make me feel like I'm starting to have something a little bit solid to show for myself to get me on this different path here to make a little bit of headway. Okay. So keep that in mind here about that. Not only do I want to say that, sorry, a lot of things to say here about this. It is at the 29th degree. The 29th degree does tend to be, right, a more mature degree of things because it's the last degree of a sign here about stepping, right, more full, like starting to, what do I want to say? I think that the thought I'm trying to get at is starting to see them more clearly, especially with a full moon happening, of which this video is for. And full moons are very bright in the sky. They illuminate, where we're starting to see more of these good things. Because if some of you have watched my past few horoscopes, there have been good events and insights around for the past month or so when Jupiter-Uranus came exact a few weeks ago. But some of you have been commenting, oh, nothing good has happened in my life, or I haven't seen it yet. Well, this full moon in Sagittarius, right? Full moon, bright, last Jupiter at the last degree, the ruler of the full moon, is going to help you to see see more of these good manifestations going on internally or externally in your life. Now, they're still not going to be flashy, right? Just because you're seeing more of it doesn't mean it's flashy, doesn't mean it's fancy, it's going to be everything, you know, all these bells and whistles. It just means you're going to realize it more, right? Full moons being realizations. You're going to start to realize, oh, okay, this is the good insight that, you know, was on its way to me the past few weeks, you know, or this is the good event that maybe I didn't see a few weeks ago, or didn't make its way to me a few weeks ago, or was just hinted at. Like, now it's starting to come together. So I think there's also a thought there as well, that if you weren't seeing good things happen in the past 2 weeks prior to this, when I might have mentioned it in my other horoscopes, now would be more of the time that you would begin to see the beginning of some good things going on here that is happening here at this time, okay? That they're coming together. Not only do I want to say that, but the 29th degree, right, and can be a little tough. And a full moon is a function of an opposition, which is a lot about decisions here, right? Because it's hard to do two opposite things at once. So another thing that I might say as well is that you might need to make some decisions in order to get these good things or these insights and events, right? To make a firm decision about something one way or the other. You know, especially because Taurus likes decisiveness. And even though the sun's in Gemini, we still have a bunch in Taurus. So you might need to make a firm decision, or these good, right? There's something about these good things that might require you to make a firm decision in order to work with them here better. That is going on here, and to honor your values, your needs and values, and what would be most in alignment with those through the process. Okay. So that's what I say there. Let me repeat that before I talk about the Venus now. Full moon in Sagittarius, which this video is for. We're stepping into good events externally in our situation and insights internally in our situation that are renewing our passion and our zest for life and our ability to act. And those good things that we're stepping into are going to be new, different, and or better events or insights about money, about our gift, skills, and talents, about our confidence and self-worth, and about our body and appearance that aren't going to be big and flashy. They're going to be small and simple, but built to last, very solid. Maybe the first bit of solid ground we've had since 2020 here, and that are going to help us to put our lives on a better trajectory that we may just now start to see. They've been making their way to us for the past few weeks, but that we now may start to see happening more fully, and may need to make some decisions here in order to bring more together and work with that are in alignment with our needs and values. Okay, that then leads me now to the next thing that I want to mention, which is going to be the fact that Jupiter is conjunct Venus here, and so too is the Sun conjunct the Moon opposite all of that. Okay. What I want to say about this to me is a very good thing. This to me is a very good, beautiful thing, because Venus is in Taurus, its home sign, where it really likes to be here at a more mature degree, even though I know it's the 29th degree, at a more mature degree, and it's near Jupiter, which I tend to like, again, being wisdom, optimism, gifts, good luck, which is the ruler of the full moon. So this to me is a very good thing here that's meant to be helpful. What is the good thing here? Well, Jupiter brings new, different, and better things, right? And Venus is correlated to Taurus, so it has everything to do with what I've already said. But I think I want to go in a different direction here. Venus can bring an idea of ourselves, our needs, our values, who we are as a person. And Jupiter can expand that to give us a bigger idea of ourselves than we thought we were, and a better idea of ourselves and who we thought we were here. That's more exciting, more all-encompassing, more in tune with who we are. Not only that, but Venus is also a planet of ease and beauty. So this can also help us to feel more at ease in life, or more beautiful, or just more well-rested, right? If we want to consider Venus about ease, and Taurus also being a slower sign, this is bringing feeling well rested, which is what the whole point of the past few weeks, if you've been watching my horoscopes, is about. We got to rest, we got to take it easy. Well, peak 29 degrees, peak rest, we've done it. So we've done the well rest, we're feeling well rested so that we can get that zest for life and that motivation that we've talked about here and that new sense of self to help us feel more motivated. Because the point of my past few horoscopes, if you were watching those, was never to like rest forever. It was never to rest for months and months and months. No, that's not the theme of this year. The point of the past few horoscopes has been to rest until action feels natural, not till action feels heavy and hard and I gotta do work today, till action feels easy. I love my work. I love what I have to do today. I can't wait to get up. It's like to rest until that happens, and that is happening now. We're feeling well rested, like we've done that enough and we've got a new sense of self that's expanded, more positive from that rest. So especially with good insights now happening and coming to us in order to bring more of that together. Okay. And I think that they, could have happened simultaneously. I don't know what came first. Did the chicken or the egg? Did we feel more well rested and then we got good luck and insights? Or did we get good luck and insights and then we felt well rested? I think they probably happened together, like a big mix together, but they're both happening. And I see it as a very, very good thing here that's going on and very positive. Okay. So do you see this full moon in Sagittarius? We're getting a lot of good events and insights here about our situation that are bringing more zest for life. And those good events and insights have to do with new, different, or better money sources, sense of self, skills and talents, beauty and appearance. Here that's going on aren't flashy, but are just what we need to have a solid footing to build our life on. And really the first, I think, solid place we've been in that's felt hopeful probably since 2020. And that's bringing an expanded, more positive sense of self about who we are and what we're capable of that maybe we haven't had before, and making us feel more well rested or very well rested so that now we can tackle life again with that said zest I was just talking about. Here that's going on. Okay, that may require us to make some decisions in order to get together. Okay, that then leads me now the next thing that I want to talk about here, which is going to be the fact that this full moon itself is making a sextile over here to Pluto in Aquarius. That's going on. Okay, this to me is a good alignment. It's good because it's a sextile, which I almost always interpret in a positive way, because a sextile is an aspect between two planets and two signs of complementary elements. And in this case, the moon's in Sag, fire, and Pluto's in Aquarius, air. So they get along. What is the good thing going on here? Well, everything else I just said still stands, right? Feeling more, whatever way I should have said it, we're feeling more well rested. Good things are happening. Money, self-worth, all of that. We're getting more mojo for life. Well, Pluto can bring a lot of intense desire and feeling. Aquarius is a lot about, it's an air sign about ideas. It's also about our future, possibilities opening up, opening doors opening up, possibilities opening up, ideas opening up, our mind opening up. It's also about our authentic self and feeling more able to express that. It's also too about unique approaches to life, innovation here, and maybe even friends and groups of people here that's going on as well. So not only, right, do you see, not only are we feeling more well rested with more of our mojo back for life with good things that we're starting to see more clearly happening with money, skills and talents, body and appearance, sense of self-worth, but it's blowing everything wide open, our ideas about ourself, life, and bringing lots of new possibilities and opportunities about our future that we didn't see before, who we might want to associate with, how we might want to do life in unique ways. That I think is very, very exciting here at this time. Okay. That then leads me now to the next alignment, and I think the last one that I'm going to mention today here. And that's going to be Mars. Mars is an interesting place here. It's in Aries, just finished a conjunction to the North Node before this full moon, but still kind of hanging out there and coming into a conjunction with Chiron in the next few days after this. Right, what is this? Maybe I'll start with a little challenging first here. This can be a little difficult because Mars is near Chiron, okay, which is what hasn't happened yet, right? It's going to happen after this full moon. And Chiron can be difficult. It has a lot to do with triggers and insecurities and things like that. So this can be a little hard. What is the difficulty? Well, both Mars and Chiron are in Aries. Aries is about said action that we've been talking about, said zest for life, because it's a fire sign, just like Sagittarius, very passionate here that's been going on. So this can, in some ways, I guess, to bring it together, make us feel like we're well rested, we're more peppy, more zest for life, want to do things, and good things are going on here in our experience, and doors are opening up and new possibilities are coming, but there can still bring this, but I'm afraid to take the bull by the horns with some of the Taurus. I'm afraid to charge in with the ram, right? Aries is the ram, Taurus is the bull, there's planets there. I'm afraid to really take the bull by the horns and charge into these good experiences and this stuff. I'm feeling more ready. I'm feeling more ready. I'm feeling more motivated. I feel like I'm rested, all of that, but I'm a little scared to really go for it, even though I'm feeling good about it. Here, that's happening. And I think it can bring some of that difficulty because, I just thinking about what's been going on in the astrology for the past few years, I think we've tried a lot of times, I think we've tried a lot of times since 2020 to like have good things happen in our lives and do new stuff. And it just like hasn't worked out prior to this. So I think there's a lot of that that's going on. Like I feel well rested. I want to move forward. Finally, I want to do things and make them happen and good things are going on. I've got good insights, but like, I'm afraid to take the bull by the horns and charge in like the ram because I'm worried, like, what if it doesn't work out? Like, it didn't really work out before, like, what if it doesn't happen now? And I don't want to be let down. I think that there's some of that. Maybe there's also, too, a fear with the Aries about upsetting people, too, because, right, Aries is about asserting yourself. So maybe there's a little bit of afraid, like, I'm afraid of being a bull in a china shop. I'm afraid that if I really go for the things that I want, then I'm going to like knock everything over and upset people and they aren't going to like it. So maybe there's some fear about that that's going on too with these good opportunities. Or like, I'm afraid of what other people are going to say here that's going on. That can happen. But even though that is going on, I have to tell you, I think that we're going to be able to overcome that, that fear and that hesitation. And I think we're going to dive in anyways with these things. And I think we're going to overcome that fear anyways and dive in, grab the bull by the horns, even if we mess things up, with these good experiences and opportunities, because Mars, again, is going to make a conjunction with Chiron, and Mars likes to be in the sign of Aries. It's at home there, which means it's going to function better than it would otherwise. Not only that, but it just came off of the North Node. And when planets make a conjunction, they start new cycles and they infuse with new energy. So Mars just got infused with this positive North Node Aries energy that's going to make it more active, as to where before it was on like the South Node and Libra energy. So it's now got that. In addition to that, Mars is going to make a conjunction with Chiron and start a new cycle there with that as well. And a new cycle between Mars and Chiron can indicate overcoming fear and working through some of that. Now, I think some of it's still going to persist because Chiron is still going to be in Aries after Mars finishes in a few days with Chiron. But it can indicate us, at least for now, not letting those fears get the best of us here and going for the things that it is that we want here, that it is that we need. Okay. I do feel like it's going to, again, I feel like it's going to happen more naturally. Okay. Or more instinctually, if you will. Because, full moons, push us to do more things than say the new moon, and it's in Sag, it's a fire sign. You've got Mars here at home. I think this is gonna, and Aries, Mars is in Aries about our instincts. So I think this is gonna happen more naturally, where we're just gonna be like, I'm tired of resting. I got some good insights and some good things are going on. Like, I'm going to do it now or never, even if things are crazy. Okay. But if that instinct doesn't kick in, then I'm going to give you some advice here. So now I'll switch over to that in order to help you. And I think the advice that I want to give you is a decision must be made. I did kind of hint at this earlier with the opposition, right? The moon opposite Jupiter and Venus in a full moon itself. If there's some good insight here that's going on, or good event that's kind of lingering here, there's a need to make a decision to get it going. This isn't like wait on the fence to see what's going on, especially not now. Maybe the past 2 weeks have been like, wait out these good things, but there's an energy now of like, if there's something going on that's kind of a good insight or kind of a good thing, but is still in the air, make a decision now about like, am I going to do it or not? Or am I going to get this new job or what? Am I going to do this thing? Am I going to apply for these types of jobs or this type of job? Like, don't linger in indecision. Okay, it's decision energy, especially with the 29 degrees going on here with the Jupiter Taurus. There's a need to make a decision here so that you don't let these good things kind of just fizzle out. Okay, not only do I want to say that here, but I want to say that the decision with the Taurus and Aries, they're on this side of the zodiac. This is more like the me, myself, and I decision. So the decision that you make needs to be something that's what's in your best interest, not what other people want you to do, not what other people are saying, should happen, but what's in your best interest here. And that's going to put, your situation in a better place here. Not only that, but I think also with the Taurus stuff, Taurus is a lot about your needs. It's a lot about your values and what's in alignment with you. And it's more simple. Remember, we also talked about that. So not only is there a need to make a decision if this stuff isn't happening naturally, but to make a decision that is good for you and that honors your needs and your values. And that's in alignment with who you are. Not, again, what you think you should want, but who you are and what's important to you. And that's more practical and simple and not so big and crazy. Not only that, but Aries is also a sign, I think, of instinct and of gut. So I think that part of the advice too is in many ways to trust your instinct here and to trust your gut, because I think your instinct and your gut is going to be clued into what's best for you here and what is more in touch with your needs and with your values, with Aries and Taurus being so close together here. So I would do that. Or maybe the advice is make a decision based on your needs and values first and what's in line with you. And then after you've made that practical decision, then trust your gut. Then trust your gut here. That's going on. And then go for it, and don't hesitate. Hey, and I think that's another piece of advice. Don't hesitate. Once you've made your decision, take advantage of that good energy. Not only is that what I want to say, but Aries too, is unrefined, I think, as a sign. Is a little bit messy, but is not afraid of that. So I think that's another thing that I want to say here too is not only make a decision about what you want to do that's going to work for you and is more in alignment with your needs and values, and trust your gut while you're doing that or after you're doing that, to kind of bring it all together and to go for it and go with it here. That's going on, but to not be afraid if things get messy in the process or just look a little unrefined. You'll figure that out later. Okay. Now, when you'll figure that out looks way later in the year, October, it really looks next year. When you're going to figure out how to unmess things and get everything more orderly, probably looks more, and that's not even the right words to use. Probably looks more next year, but don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about things getting messy or crazy. Just get your foot in the door here with a better experience that you need, so that you don't let these opportunities pass you by here and can work with them better. Okay. And that's it, because that's it. I'm now just going to repeat all of that one last time without the astrological jargon. So let me do that now. What I think is going on here at this full moon in Sagittarius is that maybe I'll order it right. I feel like I said a little bit out of order. I'm going to order it right. What's going on at this full moon in Sagittarius is that we are finally, we're getting a lot of good wisdom and understanding internally, and or good events happening externally in our lives that are bringing new, different, and better situations with money, our skills and talents, our sense of self-worth, and our beauty and appearance here. And they're not big things that are super flashy, but they're small, simple things that are just what we need and have been needing since 2020 to put our lives on a different and better trajectory in a more solid way, where we feel like we have something here to show for ourselves. Okay, not only are we feeling like good things are happening internally in our lives and externally, but we're also feeling like good things are happening because we've rested enough, because we've taken enough time the past few weeks to rest, to relax, to chill, and to not stress ourselves, where now we feel good. And now we feel, with the rest and the good insights and events, more able to take action and more passionate and more zesty when it comes to life here, with lots of new possibilities and opportunities opening up for us here, which I think is great. But while we're feeling more well-rested and good things are happening, money, gifts, skills, and talents, beauty, appearance, and all of that here, and more zesty with more possibilities and opportunities open up for us, I think there's still a little bit of hesitation and fear around taking the bull by the horns with these opportunities and with these things that are going on and moving them forward. That can feel a little uncomfortable, but even though that's uncomfortable, I don't think we're going to let that get us down. I think we're going to overcome that fear and anxiety around taking the bull by the horns, and we're going to do it anyways. We're going to hone in on a good thing in our life, insight, an event, and we're going to get the courage up to work with it and to move it forward here, no matter what it takes, which I think is going to be good. And I do believe that's going to happen naturally, but if it doesn't happen naturally, I'm going to give you some advice. And the advice that I want to give you is, if you're experiencing good things happening in your life, but make decisions. That's the first thing I want to give you is make decisions. I think there's something about making clear decisions that are going to be important here to help you get more good things in your life. Just send a clear message to the universe about what it is that you want, and to make decisions that are more in alignment with you, your needs and values, and who you truly are. Not only do I want to encourage you to make decisions here, but I also want to encourage you that once you make these decisions, to trust your gut and to hit the ground running, and to not wait and to not hesitate here, and to go for these things, and to not care if it's going to get messy, because you're going to figure that out later here as time goes on. Okay. And that's it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. We're finally feeling well, and right. And that, maybe that's the order. Now I'm going to say a few other things. So now what I'm going to do is say a few other things really quickly that maybe I didn't say earlier in the video to put it together better. And then I'll look at your inside degrees and play your card. And so I think I just want to say, maybe that's the right order to put it in. I'm not feeling too well today, so sorry, you all. It affects my brain. But maybe that's the real order I should put it. We've rested enough the past few weeks that now we're feeling more zesty and more passionate about life and ready to do stuff. And that's given us good insights about what's going on and helping us attract more good events here to our situation at this time, right? That we need to take the bull by the horns and go with, and stop hesitating, okay? I think that's what's happening. Okay, what else do I want to say? Okay, I think there's a thought here that I want to say. I'm assuming, this is what I'm assuming with this, as of this full moon in Sagittarius, that a lot of you have good things happening in your life, internally or externally, and that you're seeing it either at this full moon in Sagittarius or very soon, within a few short days after the full moon in Sagittarius. So I'm assuming you all are seeing that and are knowing what this good stuff is that I'm talking about here that is going on. But if you're not at the time of the full moon in Sagittarius understanding what good is going on, or if you're a few days after and you're not seeing it, then I want to say a few words for you. And I want to say this. I understand that Jupiter can expand whatever it touches, right? That's a common thing people say, and sometimes I suppose could expand challenging things or whatever, but I believe that it's going to be more positive and more of a physical manifestation, definitely here at some point, that's supposed to happen at this full moon in Sagittarius. And I think that because full moons are more physical, and because these are conjunctions, that Jupiter's making with Uranus and Venus, and conjunctions indicate new cycles. And when it comes to new beginnings, there's more of a sense of serendipity, of not based on past effort, of different things going on. So I think I want to say that I think that there is something good available to all of us here that's going on in an external form. Again, it doesn't look flashy with the Taurus, and it may be bigger for some people than others, but I think there's some good stuff going around. And for all of us, and if you're not feeling it, then go back to what I said in my past few videos. And I think the last video I gave you 2 weeks ago for the new moon in Taurus was rest, was rest and wait and chill and take it easy and don't stress. So that's the advice for you. If you aren't resonating with this horoscope, nothing good's happening, not feeling well rested, not feeling any of that, okay, go back to the new moon in Taurus. And that advice there was wait, rest, chill, do nothing, don't stress. Okay, go back to that, because the more you chill and you rest and you don't stress and you don't do anything, you know what's going to happen? You're all of a sudden going to feel well rested, because you're going to be like, man, I've been on this couch for weeks. I'm tired of this couch. I'm tired of this couch. And while I was on this couch, I was watching this movie, and this movie gave me an idea, and I want to go here, So if you're not experiencing good things, go back to resting, waiting, chilling, not focusing on anything important in your life here, because that's, other than what you have to do, to pay bills and all of that, because that's then going to get you here to the good stuff that's going on, to these insights, to feeling more well-rested, to what's happening. Okay, I see astrology as cumulative. You can't just skip one lesson in one chapter. You can't just skip one grade and go to the next. Like, you got to do all the grades and all the chapters and stuff. So there's that. Another thing that I want to note is, if there's some of you who are right on the edge, if there's some of you who are like, okay, I think I have something good going on. If you're like, okay, there's not nothing good going on, but there's not something that feels very solid and significantly good going on, like you've described. Like, if there's some of you that's like, okay, then you're the ones that probably need to make a decision. Like, that's probably what you need first and foremost, is you need to make a decision and get crystal clear about what do you want, or what is going on in this situation, because that then is going to bring a good event, or send a message to the universe that you're ready, or just, get you on that better path here. Don't linger. I think there's a need to make a firm decision about what's important to you, again, with the full moon, the 29 degrees and all of that. And that should help you to point you in a very specific direction here that's going on. Okay. And to make that decision that's more in alignment, right, with your needs and values and all of that. And then those of you who do have very good things going on, right, then that's the advice of like, trust your gut. Then comes in the trust your gut. Don't worry about it being messy, all of that. Okay. So I think I just wanted to clarify that. If you're not feeling like good things are happening, you need to rest more to get things coming together. And then if you're in the middle, then make the decision. So I think that that's the way I would see the advice really going, even though obviously it could play out in a bunch of different ways. Okay. Be decisive. Okay, another thought I want to add on the mess, right? Like, because that was part of what came up during this interpretation, is like, some of you may have good things happening, know what you want, very excited about it, but then like afraid to really take the bull by the horns, even though I think you're going to overcome that. And some of you may be afraid to do it because you're afraid it's going to get messy. Everything you've got going on, it's going to get messy, and, going to get hard to handle. And I think my thought on that is like, it is going to get messy. Like, it's not, it may get messy. It's not like I'm going to do this new thing and it may get messy, but it may not. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure that whatever thing that's going on here that's good, it's going to get messy. It's going to get chaotic. And there's going to be just some weird things that are going to go on. And I'm pretty sure of that because Jupiter's about to enter Gemini very soon after this full moon here. And there's nothing wrong with the sign of Gemini. I'm a Gemini. My birthday's coming up. Nothing wrong with the sign of Gemini, but Jupiter just doesn't like to be there. And when a planet doesn't like to be there, it doesn't matter how good the sign is, it doesn't really function that well there. And Jupiter doesn't like Gemini because sometimes Jupiter likes to go all in on things. And Gemini can get distracted a little bit here, a little bit there, all this stuff going on. So I think I'm going to say that, in terms of some of y'all being afraid, if you are of things getting messy later on, I don't think it may, I think it definitely will. And you got to be okay with that. It's fine. You got to get your hands a little dirty sometimes in order to figure things out. And things getting a little out of hand helps us learn more about ourselves and refine what's going on. And I've got some advice to help you later on when we get there. And it's probably the mess is probably going to set in somewhere around July and August. And the mess that's going to set in case y'all are curious, what these things are happening now, it's going to be overwork. We're going to fall back into overworking, working too much, doing too much. It's going to be stressing about things. It's going to be a lot of people pleasing that's going to come back. And it's also probably going to be about making some choices that aren't in alignment with who we truly are, with the Jupiter Gemini, going crazy. So keep that in mind. But just because things are going to get messy later on doesn't mean not do them, which is like a the whole point of Aries, with Mars and Aries in the North Node there, of like, who cares if it's messy? You'll figure it out as you go along. Okay, so don't let that stop you. Here you're going to be able to, even if things go wrong later, you're going to be able to pick yourself up and work around it. Okay, so that's what I'm going to say there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at your inside degrees and pull a card. So I got those up on the screen. The inside degrees weren't written by me. They're written by someone else named Elias Lonsdale. Okay. The full moon's at 2 degrees Sagittarius, but all the ones around it can be relevant. I've got, because the planets are in motion, I've got Sagittarius 1 up here on the screen. This is a more negative degree. I didn't really, to me, I don't intuitively feel like it's meant to be what this full moon is about here, but I think this could resonate with some of you who haven't rested enough. So I'm not going to read 1 degree Sagittarius. You can read it, especially if you're having a hard time here. But I feel like for those of you who really struggled with the new moon in Taurus message to rest, to take it easy here, then you're probably feeling Sagittarius 1. But what I think is really supposed to go on here, Sagittarius 2. So let's talk about that. And that's the degree of the full moon. It says a vast multiplicity of vantage points, ways of being, complete identities, fabulously suggestible and impressionable, fanning out in all directions, becoming one with everything, desiring and needing to bring forth each self you've ever been, every fancy you are filled with. You are impetuous, outrageous, and irrepressible, freedom at all costs. So I'm going to stop right there. I think there are a lot of good things from that. And to me, what I get from those sentences is that we're feeling like there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of desire, things we're excited about doing, experiencing, becoming one with here. And we're feeling more free and wanting to be free. So I like that here. I don't get as much from the astrology of the fabulously suggestible and impressionable at this full moon, because we've got the ruler in Taurus, which is not impressionable, in my opinion. I don't think Taurus is impressionable. I don't think Taurus is suggestible, being a stubborn sign. So I don't think we're getting that from it, but I definitely think we're getting like new ideas, new possibilities, like new things can happen in our lives, and ideas that we're excited about that feel more freeing to us. Right? So as the moment prevails, ferment and flux, a great difficulty in holding steady, perpetual rebellion, the magnificent ability to become absolutely anything. Experience is all. Your deepest need is to embrace your astounding nature and let it be free. Okay. Yeah, so there it kind of goes again with like difficulty and holding steady. I don't know. I mean, Taurus is very steady, and we've got Venus at home in Taurus, Mercury. We've got a lot of planets there. Jupiter's there. I don't know. I mean, you all can write in the comments if you're feeling, uneasy or all of that. But I feel like we're not having this issue in like everywhere going crazy. I feel like we're getting more of the calming, positive vibes here. Opportunities opening up, feeling more free, that's very nice. And I like the last sentence. It said, your deepest need is to embrace your astounding nature and let it be free, because I do agree with that. At this full moon, you need to let yourself go with these good things and stop waiting, stop resting, stop holding yourself back. Now is the time to go for it. Hey, let's look at 3 degrees Sagittarius. It says enlightenment rarely comes by pursuing straight lines or following predictable tracks. If you wish to find the secrets to the mysteries, you must give yourself over completely to the flux and to the ferment and allow the winds of destiny to prevail entirely. By identifying yourself with each shifting nuance, every flicker of instantaneous movement, you find the inner world's way to waking up here in this earth. But the journey is a perilous one. You become awash in so many far-flung spheres. Yeah, I mean, this is later. Gosh, I'm like, this is Jupiter in Gemini. I'm like, and with the Sag. So I'm feeling this is going to be later. Later, we're going to have to give ourselves over to kind of like how things are changing and how things are shifting and all of that. So I think Sagittarius 2 is where I'm going to leave it at. A lot of ideas opening up, feeling more free to be ourselves, wanting to experience life and more energy for that, and needing to embrace action and experience and passion and to go for it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm feeling. You know, I think that we're a little more controlled with the Taurus than the other things. And if you're feeling nervous, right? If you're feeling nervous and anxious, if that's you, right? You either have to rest, right? Depending on the past, or make a decision. And that's going to get you out of that weird space, which we already talked about. Okay, so that's it. Because that's it, I'm now going to pull your card. Okay. Oh, goodness. I think I've got 2 cards. We've got the World. That upright here. Wow, what a great card. So this is a good sign. This confirms, like, I really do like this full moon in Sagittarius, and think that it's going to be very positive for a lot of you all. So this to me confirms it. The World is a lot about, I think it's a lot about success in some ways. I think it is too. I don't know if I want to say completion, because I think we're actually at the very beginning of something, even though we've been trying to get to the beginning for a while here, but I'm just getting a very good vibe. This can also indicate full circle. Maybe there was something from the past few years since 2020 that you just couldn't get off the ground or couldn't get to happen, and now it's happening in a better way, or coming back to you in a better way. So I think there's a thought there. Good things at this full moon, helping you to do something that maybe you've been trying to do for a while and bring things full circle so that you can kind of move forward a little bit. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the 5 of Swords reversed. You know, when I see the 5 of Swords reversed, I think my thought is like, choose wisely. To, you know, it's really the thought is like, choose your battles wisely here with this card. And so I think that there's a message of, I think choice is like, for some reason, a big message. Maybe that's also the 29 degrees, you know, of like, choose wisely. There's an opportunity here to close out some old cycles in your life here and start different and better ones that are going to be more long lasting, especially with money, your sense of self-worth, your gifts, skills, and talents, your beauty and appearance, and to bring some things full circle, to kind of start to do things that have been hard for you to do the past few years. Choose very wisely, because not all choices are made equal here, and some choices are better than others, and you want to choose whatever's coming up in your life, the thing that is resonating the most with your needs and values. Okay. Not the thing that looks flashy, not the thing that's going to give you an immediate result right away. You know, the thing that is going to be the best in the long run, that truly resonates with you, that's more in alignment and authentic. I think that's also part of it here in who you are, because if you make a choice, you know, to do something that's out of alignment with you, then it can grow. It can grow over time to be something you don't, you know, that doesn't resonate with you, you know. So I think that there's the thought there, choose wisely about what truly matters and not these distractions and what you think you should want here. Okay, and don't let other people make these decisions for you. You're your own person, and you know, we got to figure a lot of these things out here on our own. Okay, anything else? You know, I think another thought that I have here too, you know, because there's a bunch of swords flying out of a cauldron in this card, and it looks kind of dangerous. I think another thing too is like, some of y'all might wonder, you know, yeah, making the choices, right? There's a thought about that, making choices, like, because I don't want to scare you all with like that thought of like, you have to make the right choices, even though like choices are important here, but yeah, I think it's like, once you make the choice, it's like, you got to go for it. And I think the thought that's coming to my mind is like, you got to stop babying yourself, you know, like with the, and just go for it, right? The full moon's in Sag, it's a masculine sign, it's more active, it's more doing, you know, stop being so tender, you know, or stop being so precious, is like the thought of like, you can handle it. Believe in yourself and make a decision and go for it, and accept the consequence, you know, accept whatever's meant to come up after the decisions, and don't be so afraid of upsetting people for what you decide, or don't be so afraid of what might come after you go down a path. Like, you can handle it. You know, once you make the decision here that you need to make, know that you can handle it, and stop being scared of your own shadow, you know, when it comes to the things that it is that you need to do here. Because some of y'all may have been selling yourself short a little bit here, and you need to realize you're capable of a lot more, especially with the Jupiter Venus going on. So I think that's all I'm going to say there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that you have a good full moon here. I wish you all the best, and I'll talk to you 2 weeks from now on that next video of the new moon in Gemini.